Presenter, Toastmaster Josh Valentin. Okay.
Lotion.
Love the lotion. Palm olive. Indeed.
Good evening, everyone. What would you all say is a country's greatest investment? Mr. Toastmaster, fellow members, and most welcome guests, you guys got that right. It's the people. Over the last few weeks, I've spent a lot of my time traveling around the world, and one of the places that I was fortunate enough to travel on my birthday was Dubai. And took about 25 family members and friends with me to Dubai. Had an amazing time. And I do a lot of traveling, and oftentimes people ask me, what's the best place you've ever been to? And I always tell them that there is no best place. Usually I either come back with three things. The first is a shift in perspective. I come back with a shift in perspective. The second is a deep sense of gratitude for my own life, my own country. The third is a deep sense of inspiration. And that's really what Dubai did for me. It gave me a deep sense of inspiration. What they've created over the last 50 years has been remarkable. Literally took a desert with nothing there and completed a huge metropolis from their oil reserves. Now there's many countries around the world that have an abundance of oil reserves, but the unique thing about Dubai is the fact that they found a way to leverage it. They found a way to regulate it in a way that they can invest in other industries and other sectors. Today, the tourism industry is the #1 industry in Dubai. Dubai has about 10 years left of their reserves in oil. So they became very innovative. They started creating everything from solar to different investment opportunities. In fact, Uber, the company Uber, a lot of Uber is invested by Arab people. A company based out of the States. So I was very, very inspired. And on my way to a dune buggy ride in the desert, we were doing some dune buggy rides in the desert, one of my good friends had asked the gentleman who was a driver, he was from Pakistan, he was an expat. For those of you who don't know, Dubai consists of about 8 million people. 1 out of every 8 are the locals. Everyone else is imported workers. Every single one of those locals are born millionaires in Dubai. So it's a remarkable place. And all in the last 50 years this has happened. And the gentleman in the back seat asked the driver, well, does Dubai have any historical landmarks? Like China has the Great Wall, India has the Taj, what does Dubai have? And he simply looked back and said, of course we do. We have the 8th wonder of the world. And in my mind, I'm like, 8th wonder, I know where the 8th wonder of the world is. And he said, his name is Sheikh Mohammed. And that's when I realized that Dubai has a deep love and appreciation for their ruler, who just so happens to be the vice president of the entire United Arab Emirates and the prime minister. He's a remarkable guy. This guy literally drives all around the city in his own car, no security, just like a local person. He's had the same cell phone number over the past several years, and every native of Dubai can give him a call and speak to him about anything. Talk about investing in your people. He is the definition of investing back into your country, investing back into your people. Wow. And I really, really was inspired by this. And I ended up buying his book and really, really diving into his frame of thinking. So what is this whole speech about? This whole speech is about investing back into your people. Wow. What does the Bahamas need more than anything? Where does the investments need to go more than anywhere? It's in its people. It's in its people. Whether you believe it or not, no, I don't care what your opinion is. I'll be very honest with you. Because as a person from the States, I know what this can do for a country. I know what it can do for a person, especially coming from the ghetto where I come from, not expecting to live past 18. And because my country decided to invest in me, I stand here today speaking amongst you fellas. Wow. Okay? So investing in people, and not just any people. You see, this country already invests in a lot of Bahamians. They send them abroad to learn different skills, different vocations, and bring those skills to develop the country. But oftentimes what happens? They don't come back. Do you blame them? Why don't they come back? Do you expect someone who spent all this money, all this time, all this energy to come back to a country where there aren't any careers, aren't no jobs, and if there are jobs, those jobs are paying them a lifestyle that they truly don't desire? They go to these countries where there's an abundance of resources, an abundance of opportunities, so they stay. So where does the shift have to happen? Is it investing in anybody? I'll tell you where the money needs to be invested. It's in entrepreneurs. This country needs to invest in entrepreneurs, hands down. The reason being is entrepreneurs have a different frame of mind. Entrepreneurs are the problem solvers. Entrepreneurs are the ones that are going to create the jobs of the future. If you invest in people who want to be employees, at the end of the day, they'll come back to the country seeking for employment, working for other people who are entrepreneurs, and you're essentially building their wealth instead of building your own wealth. So you have to breed entrepreneurs. And that's the biggest thing, more than anything. Think about the U.S. Think about the U.S. The fact that the U.S., every single movement in today's digital age of entrepreneurship is bred in a place called Silicon Valley, primarily. You also have other states, also other cities throughout the U.S. that breed entrepreneurs. The Silicon Valley is this unique place. You've got companies like Netflix, Airbnb, Uber, Facebook, Twitter. All of these companies are being bred in the U.S. because the U.S. is investing in its entrepreneurs. All of these jobs are coming back into the country. So if you're going to invest in anything, my call to action for the gentleman here tonight is to go out there, speak to the politics who are willing to invest in the entrepreneurs. And some of you may be wondering if I'm qualified to even speak on this subject. I speak from firsthand experience because my first set of Bahamians that I've ever met were in college. Dozens of Bahamians who came to college, one of the highest paying colleges in the world. But when they come back to the Bahamas, they're making less than $30,000 a year when everybody else who graduated from that college is making 6 figures and better. That's a problem. Ask any one of those out of the dozen if they're truly happy, if they're truly fulfilled. 4 years, blood, sweat, and tears in a school to come back for nothing. We need to invest in entrepreneurs, the problem solvers, the people who are really going to shake things up and create solutions and provide value to the marketplace. Because if you don't, your people will perish. Our people will perish. My son is a Bahamian, and that's the reason why I feel so strongly about this issue. Because if we don't breed these young entrepreneurs today, there is no hope for the future.
Wow.
My wife received a scholarship from a gentleman by the name of Sir John Templeton, who was a billionaire from the U.S. who moved to the Bahamas to escape taxes. He didn't want all of his money to be taxed away from him. He was approaching the end of life, and he moved to the Bahamas and created his own foundation. And this foundation sends people all around the world to further their education. My wife was lucky enough to be one of them.
Wow.
Sir John Templeton was an entrepreneur, and he created so much value to the world because he came from a place that bred entrepreneurs. There's so much work to be done. I understand that there's a lot of hierarchy here in this country. There's a lot of old ways of doing things.
Yeah.
To even start a company in this country is ridiculous. In the States, you can start a company in minutes. You can get everything you need in minutes. But you come here, it's very difficult.
Yeah. NIV.
So I'll end with this. I'll end with this. And in the book called My Vision, I highly recommend reading it. Sheikh Mohammed states, "The large number of creative, highly qualified, and motivated people who head and staff our team is ample proof that our empowerment policy is working. We will always strive to make this policy our top priority based on our belief that our young, United Arab Emirates citizens are our most precious asset and the key to our future. This does not apply only to companies, but in other areas as well, because it is a leader's duty to develop the leadership skills of those he believes are suitable, and when the time comes, these people can transfer their knowledge to the next generation." And I'll leave with this. As the good book says, if there is no vision, the people perish.
Fellow Toastmasters, yes.